Every year in college football, it feels like there's a couple of teams that come completely out of nowhere. Last year, it was Indiana and Arizona State. So here are the 10 teams that I think could come out of nowhere this season. Starting at number 10, I've got New Mexico. A lot of people have written this team off with the departure of Bronco Mendenhall, but I'm telling you, Jason Eck has assembled a very nice roster this year, and this is a team that I could see stringing together some wins and building something really special this season. Very few teams brought in more transfer portal players than Rich Rodriguez at West Virginia. I think they're going to have some offensive firepower, and so if they can find something defensively this season, there's a real shot that West Virginia could be this year's Arizona State in the Big 12 and make a crazy run. Virginia has a number of things working in their favor this season. They have the easiest schedule of any power conference team. They have the same exact coaching staff from the last couple of seasons, a ton of continuity there. They went heavy in the portal, and they have quarterback Chandler Morris, who was on that magical TCU team. So maybe he brings some of that special sauce that TCU had that year. Throughout his career, Mark Stoops has always performed better when people are doubting him. This year, everyone is down on Kentucky. I could see the Wildcats coming out with these new portal additions, them hitting well, and them just popping off a random 8 or 9 win season. It took just one bad season for most people to forget about Oregon State as a program and as a football team, but they quietly had a really excellent offseason, stacking talent much better than a lot of power conference teams, and with their hodgepodge schedule, they could put something interesting together. Georgia Southern lost to Boise State and Ole Miss last year, and then yet still turned in an 8-win season, probably the quietest 8-win team in the country last year. They return a bunch of key contributors, they return their staff, and I'm saying that they're a team that could come out of nowhere, not just in the Sun Belt, but perhaps on the national radar if they win the Sun Belt and insert themselves into the playoff conversation. A lot of people completely sold their Cal stock with the weird transfer portal exodus that happened in the spring, but it could have been them just shaking up things in the right way to finally produce positive results on the offensive side of the football. They've got Devin Brown at quarterback, and Justin Wilcox has routinely had excellent defenses, so maybe Cal puts that back out this year and actually has some juice in the ACC and makes something happen. Maryland had a very down year last year, and on paper, they don't look great, but I do think Mike Locksley has earned the benefit of the doubt with some of the excellent seasons he had that flew way under the radar. So maybe Maryland's not a 4-win team this year. Maybe they're a quiet 8-win sneaky Big Ten team that just comes out and shocks some teams. Arizona was a disaster last year, but we've seen how thin the margins are in the Big 12, and we saw in the very same state how quickly things can turn around. Arizona, with the talent they have, and especially the offensive firepower, and Brent Brennan, a guy we know can do more with less, perhaps there's a path to Arizona being not just a sleeper in the Big 12, but a contender. But to me, the top candidate to come out of nowhere has to be UCLA. They looked very pedestrian last season, but they have some solid defensive building blocks, and they have a guy with a high upside in Nico Iamaleava. At quarterback, they bring in a new offensive coordinator, Tino Sunseri, who is from Indiana, the biggest surprise team from last year. So UCLA is a team that is not on a lot of people's radars. They could just come completely out of nowhere and have an excellent season.